Hope all of you are doing well. Yes. Okay, so let me share the screen. Chapter number 1, we did not finish it. We are actually at the fag end of that chapter. We are almost going to finish it in another half an hour. The first half an hour, we're going to finish chapter 1 today. Now, is everyone with me? Come on to the chat box once and say hi. Yes. Okay, awesome. Good morning. Can you see the screen? You can see the screen, right? Yes. So quickly, let's run through what we did yesterday, and then I'll start with the new content. So what is accounting was done day before. Accounting is language of business. Accounting is basically what does accounting do? What does accounting do? We discussed this also. Accounting is basically about recording the transactions and events. Okay, we will talk about transactions and events in today's class itself. So what is transaction and what is an event? We record basically all the transactions and events in a very systematic manner in accounting, and also the communication of the financial performance and financial position to the users of accounting information as part of accounting. So when I say accounting, it involves all these steps that you see on your screen. So it starts from recording, it ends with communicating. The obvious point of why do we need to have accounting records, we have discussed this in detail on day 1, right? So why do we need accounting? Because that's the only way you get to know how the business is being run. What is the financial position? What is the financial performance of the business is determined or can be ascertained only through accounting. There is no other way. There is no other way to find out what is happening with the business. Now, recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, and interpreting and communicating. So here I have in detail discussed with you why we need each and every step. Recording is the first step where we record all the transactions, and then classifying these transactions into ledgers, basically sub accounts we make for every head. And then you have summarizing, because this is the last step in bookkeeping. So you have to basically help the next part of accounting, that is preparation of financial statements. So to ensure that the preparation of financial statements is smooth, what we do was we prepare a summary, a list of accounts with all the balances and all that, so that our financial statements preparation is ready. Is easy. For example, when you were in the first PU, you used to do the final accounts, right? You used to drop trading account, you used to drop P&L account, you used to drop the balance sheet. What used to be given in the question? What they used to give in the question? Do you remember? They used to give generally. Did you understand the question? You used to prepare the final accounts of sole proprietor concerns, or now you prepare the company accounts, final accounts, right? In the case of companies in second PUC, as per the schedule 3, you prepare the final accounts. What is the data that they give in the question? On the basis of which do you draw the final accounts? They give you the trial balance, correct? No, they give you the trial balance. So trial balance is nothing but the last step in bookkeeping. This is all bookkeeping. So the bookkeeper's work gets over when he prepares the trial balance. This is all bookkeeping, and here the financial statement starts. So it's like a relay, right? He gives the trial balance to the financial statements guy. So on the basis of the financial statement trial balance, now based on the trial balance, just like how you used to prepare, or how you still prepare in the case of companies and all in second PUC syllabus, how you prepare using the trial balance, the financial statements, the same thing happens over here. You do the same thing, right? Once the trial balance, soon after the trial balance is given, you basically start analyzing and start putting it in the respective component of the financial statement. If it is an income item or expense item, it will go to the P&L or the trading account. If it is an asset or liability, it will go to the balance sheet. That's what you do, right? You analyze, you see each and every account and you analyze where it should be going, looking at the trial balance. Then in practical, for you, the net profit or that doesn't matter because you don't know the business. But in practical in a scenario, they will also look at the financial performance, financial position, and interpret what the results are, and then that is communicated to the users. I hope everyone is clear with this. Then we started about components of financial statements. So the whole point of accounting is to know the performance and position of the business, financial performance and financial position of the business. This can be made available to the user through the financial statements. So balance sheet for financial position, P&L account for financial performance. Then we have disclosures. This additional disclosures will be as per the legal requirements. Okay, it will be as per the legal requirements. So when I say financial statements and its components, these are the three components. Sometimes these disclosures will not be applicable. For example, in the case of a sole proprietor, there is no law as such governing the sole proprietor, so he might not have to give any additional disclosures. Uh, in only the balance sheet and P&L account will form part of his financial statements. He doesn't have to do any other disclosure. But in the case of companies and all, they will have to compulsorily give a CFS, that is cash flow statement. Then there is something called as SOC, SOS, we call it, that is statement of changes in equity. So if it is required, you will have to disclose additional disclosures, give additional information as per the legal requirements. There will be law governing the financial statements, accounting standards governing the financial statements. So as per those rules and regulations, you might have to draft these financial statements and the additional disclosures. Then I told you about objectives. Why do we need accounting? What does accounting do? The same thing which we just discussed. Systematic recording of transactions to ascertain the financial position, to ascertain the financial performance, and to communicate the information, financial information to the users. That is the whole point of accounting. So we have discussed in detail why accounting is there. Why do we have accounting in the whole system? Then who are these guys who are always looking at the financial information? Okay. Okay, why do we need the dogs were barking? So I thought it was okay. Anyway, so why do we need the users of who are the users of financial information? Users of financial information are basically the management. Why does the management need the financial information? The management will need it for taking better decisions. And owners, why will the owners need the financial information? So the management and the owners are the same, right? That's what we see in local businesses. The owner itself is managing his business. A shopkeeper who has put his money is only standing in the shop counter. Then why have we mentioned management and owners separately? That is not the case in all the forms of businesses, guys. In the case of companies and all, I told you, in the case of these companies, generally what happens is the owner is different. Yes, it doesn't happen in bigger organization. The owner is different. The person who manages it, the board of directors, are different. Okay. Then we have employees. Generally, when employees are interested, yes, when the bonuses or salaries are linked to us, the sales or the performance of the company, they'll also have a look. Lenders, banks, of course, to see how credible the party is, to see how if we can give a loan, to check the credit worthiness of the customer. The banks, lenders, and all have a look at your financial statements. Then we have customers. I told you generally customers don't have a look, but in some cases, in some areas, even the customers will have a look at the financial statements of the business. Then finally, we have the government, of course, taxes. Tax revenue for the government flows from the businesses. So that is why they need to know if the business is paying taxes properly. So P&L account is very relevant for them because the profits is represented in P&L account, and taxes are computed on the basis of the profits that is shown in the P&L account. Are you all with me? Are you all following this? Then we started with subfields of accounting. So in subfields of accounting, we did the first one, the classic, okay, financial accounting. That is what you and everyone in CA does, financial accounting. So this is about preparing the balance sheet, P&L account. This is the normal classic type. And then you have cost accounting. This I told you. This also we do. In the next level, you'll learn about all this. So this is about ascertaining the cost of a product, the overall cost, and also breaking up the overall cost into items. To make a particular item, there will be different kinds of costs that will go into it. So we will focus on each of those items, and we will say this is the cost, this is the cost. Then we will look for cost reduction techniques, right? We will say we will have to reduce the cost somehow. Now, do you think, I'll ask you a question. Do you think, okay, this is something that's not part here of this particular syllabus, but we will discuss this. More sales means more profit. Is it correct? More sales is equal to more profit. Most of you are saying yes, right? The answer is no. More sales is not necessarily more profit. Why, sir? Why are you saying this? I'll give you an example. More sales sometimes might mean that you might have to, incur some more expenses. For example, in the case of a factory, I have a machinery right now in my factory, a small manufacturer just started his business. So the capacity of this machinery is 10,000 units. Okay. Now per unit, he is making a profit of 3 rupees. Net profit after deducting all the expenses and all, net profit per unit is 3 rupees. Now, what happens is he gets more demand. This is the capacity, right? CAP means capacity is 10,000 units. Now, his product, he just started the production and all that. So his product suddenly has more demand. So naturally, you will think that, okay, sir, he has to expand. He will have to expand. He will expand. That's what you naturally think because more sales. More than 10,000 units, right? So now he will have to buy a new machinery. Capacity is another 10,000 units. The cost of this machinery is 5 lakh rupees. And to run this machinery, you will have certain more expenses. That is, you will have electricity charges, you will have labor charges, you will have more employees you will have to employ to run this machinery as well. So suddenly, because of the impact of this machinery, the overall profit, now let us say he's able to sell 15,000 units, the overall profit reduces to 2.5 rupees. Because you are adding only 5,000 additional units, but you are going to spend for the whole machinery, that is what 10,000 units of the machinery you're buying and you're spending. And because of this, your profit has gone down by 50 paisa. So it doesn't really mean that, or if you say overall profits also, this per unit I gave you, even overall profits go down because of this. So if he was making, if there is a chance, forget this. If he was making 5 lakh rupees before, because he added a new machinery, the profit might become 3 lakhs. Because to run that machinery, money might go from this profits also. So the profits might come down because of the buying the new machinery. So it doesn't really matter it doesn't really matter. The whole point and here is, it doesn't matter if the sales go up. That doesn't really mean that you are actually increasing the profits also. For example, now in your classes itself, the coaching classes. Let's say a person is taking coaching classes for second PUC. So when he's taking coaching classes for second PUC, he has a classroom for 50 people, and he gets more admission than 50 people. According to the general perception, you will think that okay, more students, more profits. The answer is no. If he gets 10 more students, he will have to get another classroom. He will have to rent it out. He'll have to take it on rent. Sorry, he'll have to take it on rent. He will have to get another faculty, to teach that classroom at the same time. So this is basically additional resources. So that is additional expenses. The 10 students might be generating him some 2 lakh rupees in addition to what he's been getting right now. 2 lakh rupees additional sales revenue might be generated. But to cater the needs of that 10 additional students, you might have to spend 3 lakh rupees. That 10 additional students is the need catered right, for the whole year. He might be spending 3 lakh rupees on those students. That's not worth it. Are you following? That's not really worth it, because 2 lakhs rupees is coming, 20,000 per each student is coming. But to run that classroom, 3 lakh rupees additional profits, additional expenses we will incur, because rent could be additional classroom again. We'll have to increase the capacity, so we'll have to get that classroom. Plus, we have to hire new teachers for that. So total cost, let us say, comes up to 3 lakh rupees, 20,000 per student into 10 is 2 lakhs, and 3 lakh rupees is the cost. 1 lakh is the loss. But in the new class, the old classroom, we had 50 students. There also we were collecting 20,000 per student. We were getting 10 lakh rupees from them, total 10 lakhs. And the cost was 3 lakh rupees, let us say, for the old classroom also. Rent expenses and teachers expenses, 3 lakh. There I was making a profit of 7 lakh. So the additional classroom is not necessarily getting me more profits. If I get 50 more students, additional 50 students, then yes. Or additional 40 students to break even. We call it as break even. So if it breaks even, then no problem. Breaks even means the profit or the additional profit is equal to the additional expenses. There is cost also, no, Veda. Different factors come into the picture. There is cost also. You will have to probably buy the machinery. You will need the liquid funds. There is cost for that also. So there are various factors. The whole point is, I'm trying to tell you that additional business, additional sales doesn't really mean that additional profits. Okay, so there will be cost. That's why everyone doesn't expand their business and all, because it should be viable. It should be, if you want to produce 10 more units, 100 more units, that is why you see companies like Royal Enfield. You heard about Royal Enfield, right? Royal Enfield. So when Royal Enfield is producing bikes, there's high demand for these bikes since years, not yesterday or today. Since last 5-10 years, Royal Enfield has a very big demand, very big market. But do you know why don't they expand? They can actually cash in on the market. But still, if you go and buy if you book a Royal Enfield, they are the slowest. They take some 2 months minimum for their basic variant. Also, they take 2 months to deliver it. That's not the case with any other bike company. They give it in 1 week most of the times. But Royal Enfield says there is 2 months waiting. If it's a higher end bike, if it's a little more rare, they'll say 6 months, 8 months. Royal Enfield Himalayan takes 6 months, after you book. So you book a bike today, you'll get the bike in November 2021. November 2021. 6 months gap. That is because their production lines are full. They don't have capacity to produce so many bikes. The demand is there, but their production lines are full. So why don't they add one more plant? Why don't they add one more production unit? They've done the analysis and they think it's not worth it. They're not going to make profits if they add one more plant. So once they get that demand, which will cover the profits of that new or cost of that new plant also, only then they will expand. So many times you see, not all businesses, just because there is demand, they will not start production. They will still sell how much they wanted to sell. What is their capacity? Adhikya now, we will limit ourselves. Just because the product is popular, we will not randomly go on selling. So all this analysis, right, is done through cost accounting. So we see how much is the cost that we are incurring right now per unit for production of per unit, and then there is something called as fixed cost and variable cost. So fixed cost is basically that you don't incur all the time. It's I mean you incur it all the time, but it's just fixed. You can't change it. It is not depending on the unit. For example, in the case of a classroom, the rent is a fixed cost. If we're taking a class on rent, it's a fixed cost. In the case of my office, the office rent what we pay is my fixed cost. Every month this much money, 15,000, 20,000 rupees is the rent, let us assume. So 20,000 rupees we have to pay as rent every month. Doesn't matter if I get clients, if I work in that office during that month, it doesn't really matter. In the classroom also same way. If the rent is fixed at one point, then it doesn't matter how many students are sitting inside. One student idru could have to pay 20,000 rent, 50 students idru could have to pay 20,000 rent. So that is known as fixed cost. It is fixed. There is no link to the products manufactured or people inside it. It is not variable. It is not dependent on that. But there is something called as variable cost. Now variable cost is linked to sales. So more the sales, more variable cost. For example, now in the case of classroom, you will be given study materials, you will be probably given some stationery items and all that. So in that case, it is linked to number of students. Let us say per student there is around 1,000 rupees cost for all the materials and all that. So only if a student comes in, it is linked. Otherwise that cost is not there. So it is linked to the number of students. It's linked to sales. In the case of our business in practice, what happens is we will have stationery expenses, we will have printing costs, we will have all these expenses, right? Traveling expenses and all that. That is again linked to the client. So if I get that business, only then I have to spend it. Otherwise, no. But fixed is not like that. It is fixed. It is always there. You can't reduce it. It is always there. It's fixed. So we basically analyze cost in all these angles. I'm just trying to tell you, right, how it works. So we analyze cost in all these angles. We see what is fixed, what is variable, what can be reduced, what cannot be reduced, what is controlled cost, what is cost that is not under our control. So we look at all these things. ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು analyze ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ in cost accounting. Then you have something called as management accounting, wherein the MIS reports and all are involved. So I told you about this as well yesterday. So the key data, the key information from accounting itself, we derive it from the accounting data. We take the accounting data as a whole and then we analyze the data and we say, this is the information. We break it on the basis of branches and all that information, custom-made information, customized information like the management wants to know. So the management might be interested in some kind of information. So for example, in our practice now, I will want to know how many new businesses did we cater this in a month. That means how many new businesses which were just incorporated, new businesses which were just registered. So how many business registrations did we do during the month? How many tax consultancy, what is the total revenue from tax consultancy or audits or accounting work? So I will need not the overall sales figure. I will focus on this. And then there are different types of clients. Like you have company clients, you have partnership firm clients, you have LLP. There is a form of business called LLP, that is limited liability partnerships. So I will look at each of these business and I'll see how much revenue we are generating from these businesses. Then we can do it on the basis of construction, basis of sectors also. Trading sector, construction sector, manufacturing sector. So how much revenue are we generating? Where are our clients? Which sector are they in? Because that is how you can take better decisions, right? You can say, okay, we have a lot of construction sector clients, or we have a lot of trading sector clients. So let's focus on trading sector itself. Let's get more clients, and let's focus on these clients properly, because our revenue is being generated from that sector more. So we can take decisions as management looking at these data. Or in the case of manufacturing sector, yesterday I told you, Reliance will start looking at their numbers, Ambani will be sitting and looking at the numbers, and he will say, okay, we are generating a lot of revenue from this particular sector, this particular product. In Geo we are making a lot of money. Telecom sector, let's focus on that, let's expand that business. So like this, the overall analysis is made by the management looking at the data. Now, next one is human resource accounting. Human resource accounting has taken a very important role in today's day. It's because of the service sector. Now, service sector means what I do. This is service sector. What we do, right? Coaching and all this service sector. So similarly, I'm sure you have heard about BPOs. Anyone who knows what a BPO is? What does BPO stand for? Yes, business process outsourcing. So you have these call centers and all that, a lot of call centers and all that in India. So what they do is business process outsourcing means a business will have a lot of things to do, lot of things to do. It's not just starting a production and then selling it. No, you will need customer service. You might need accounting service. So all these many things you will need in the business. So what a businessman will think is, instead of me doing it myself, I will outsource it. I will give it to someone else to do it. So the business process outsourcing, the whole point of these companies is companies like Infosys, TCS, and all that do this, Wipro and all that do this. What they do is certain processes, they take it on outsourcing. So they do it for these big companies. They say you don't focus on call center job, customer care, after sales service support, technical support over the phone. You don't have to set up your call center and all. We will do it for you. Now, Martha. So we will do it for you. Or website development. You have to take a, for example, our institute. What is our institute's name? Institute, our institute, right? What is the name of our institute? ICAI, right? ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So it's the only institute, okay, in India which it is a government organization. So ICAI looks after all the CAs. Now there is one portal for ICAIs itself, uh, where we can have a look. I'll show you the portal as well. 1 minute. I'm showing this because you will keep going to this website. I want you to keep going to this website later on as well. So that is why you have to get used to this. So you can see the screen now, right? So icai.org. So this is the portal. So this is the president and this is the vice president of ICAI and all that. So elections happen every year. We can vote. Members can vote, not you. So here in this portal now, you can see something. There are so many things in this portal. It's a very nice portal. I advise you all to use this also as soon as possible. So here basically, I'm going to click on students. Where is students? Yes, here, students on the top, students, right? So there is BOS knowledge portal. I'm going to click on that. So BOS knowledge, BOS stands for Board of Studies. So our institute has different boards under it. So one of the very important boards are Board of Studies. So your textbooks, ICI textbooks, your you will have different resources that will be given. You will have a journal. Every month they issue a journal. There are weekly journals also. All these journals are made by this particular sector. This particular board. So you can see the students' journal, right? See, this is the students' journal. So this was from the May 2021 edition. This is monthly journal. So all these journals and all are drafted by this board of studies. There will be nice articles and that you can actually download it. So you can go here, you can newsletter in PDF format. So you get the PDF. This is the journal. You can see all of this. So you will have articles, relating to your subjects. You will have some things and all that. So you can see CA Intermediate, CA Foundation, there's something relating to business and communication knowledge. That is your BCK paper, commercial knowledge, something relating to that. Then CA examination toppers, news updates, crossword puzzles, all that is part of your journal. So you can make use of all this. This is our institute's journal. Institute issues this every month. Then you will have not just the journal, also in this you will find that you have different courses, right? Your foundation course, we belong to the foundation course. So in this you have different 4 subjects. Once you register for with ICAI, you will be given a physical copy every month. Now because of COVID, I don't think they're sending, but once the COVID lockdown is lifted and all, so they will start sending you the physical copies of that material. I think you will have to pay some additional amount for it for physical copy, but online copies are available for free on the internet. So here you have these 4 papers. These are the 4 papers. So you will get the whole of your study material in soft copy. The whole study material in soft copy in this particular website. So you have the study material relevant for May 21 examination and onwards. So this is what is applicable for us. So just click on this. So this is accounting. I opened accounts. So here you have all the subjects, all the chapters, all the topics, all the units. Of course, the numbering and all I told you the other day only. It's a little different here. So all of your institute study materials are available for absolutely no cost. It's free. Everything is free. Okay, you can download this. Now this is the unit we're doing, meaning and scope of accounting. So this is available. You can download this and keep it in your phone also on offline mode. So you can keep it as you can save these things on your phone, your laptops. So all of the content, whatever we are discussing, they have given. You can have a look. You can read all this. So this is how, not just this. If you are curious to know about other subjects, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4, everything is available. Not just that, you will have old question papers also available over here. So past question papers available. In fact, in addition to the old papers, there are suggested answers also. So all the exams suggested answers, that is with answers, question papers, questions with answers. So this was the latest attempt. They have questions and answers as well. So these documents are also available over here. And then institute conducts mock tests every attempt. So 2 series of mock tests are conducted. So you can see the mock test series. This is for May 21 exams, right? So mock test is conducted. Those papers are also available. In your local branch, they hold the exams now because of the lockdown and all, they're not holding. But generally, they hold these mock tests physically. So same papers are given. This is issued by the Board of Studies itself, these papers. So you can have a look at these papers also, mock test papers. This is for the latest attempt. The exams that are going to happen next month, right? For that. So that is also available. Then every attempt, I'm telling you how much resources available in ICAI, and ICAI is not like a board, not like a PU board. This is very, very dynamic, a very big institute, a very big, very, very big institute. This is, it not just governs the members, students, it not just governs you, it governs us also. You can see the members option over here. So it governs us also. So it is a very dynamic and a very professional institute. Okay, very, very professional institute. So this is the revision test papers. So every attempt, 2 or 3 months before the attempt, generally they issue these revision test papers. Chapter wise, the contents are put in this particular material. For all the subjects, they issue these RTPs. We call this as RTP. This is known as RTP. The other file, what I just showed you, the mock test papers, we call it as MTPs. So this also will be available. Everything is there. And then for certain chapters, they have issued some questions for practice, also additional questions. So all that, just a 4-page file it is. So all that is available here itself in the BOS knowledge portal. So do we have to always come to ICAI.org? No. Or what I do was I just Google BOS knowledge portal. So you get the first link. In this, you can collect your, you can click on foundation course. You get directly, you come to this page. I in fact have it as a bookmark. So directly I come to this page. So whatever institute material I need, wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, whatever in all the three levels, whatever institute material I need, everything is available here. So it is a very big database and very, very informative also. So I advise you to have a look at this as well. So here, some of these things are run by, the institute outsources it. All this institute doesn't do. They have outsourced some of these things too, because it's a very dynamic thing. You have to do it very professionally. So ICI says we will not do this. We will outsource this to someone else. So they have outsourced some of it to, not everything, some of it to. One of the TCS companies called ION. TCS ION basically governs this. So you can see this is where we go, right? This is what is relevant for me, members. We have to log in here, and whatever we do will be done here itself in this particular portal. So even for exams and all that, right, you can go through this portal itself. You have to, there is one profile created, just like how Facebook creates your profile. So same Facebook, Instagram, how you have profile, you will have a ICA profile also. You will have a username, you will have a login ID, and also a password. So to fill your exam forms, to if you have problems with the valuation, to apply for verification, re-verification, all that is done on that portal itself. Everything. So there is one account prepared in your name, your address updation, your email ID updation, all that, your photograph, all that is to be uploaded over there. So now most of the institute things are paperless, so you don't have to like send anything by post and all. Some cases you have to, but very rarely. Now everything is paperless, so over the portal itself you can do everything. So that is all those things are managed by a company called TCS ION. Okay, it's a company of TCS. So they outsource it. This is a BPO. So like this, many of these, this is a business process. Okay, basically running a website is part of a business. Part of your institute is not a business; it's a NPO. But generally, you will have these businesses also giving their website for outsourcing. They outsource it. Banks outsource their softwares. Every bank has a software, right? CBS we call it. That CBS software, central banking software. So that is again or core banking software. So that is again outsourced. The banks don't look after it. So if there is any problem, those guys from Infosys or those guys from Wipro have to come and fix it. So basically, in this Wipro, TCS, and all that, Infosys make a chunk of their revenue through this. These companies basically don't do any other business. They just take others' business as outsourcing. They look after their business. So this is about the BPO business I was talking about. Now, in the case of even an audit firm, even a CA firm like ours, we also do BPO services. Not exactly BPO, we call this as KPO, that is knowledge process outsourcing. So what we do is, there is one small hotel, restaurant, or there's one small businessman who's not able to maintain his accounts, books of accounts, and all. He can't maintain. He can't appoint an accountant. Now, accountants are expensive. They will charge you something. So what we go and tell him is, or he comes to us, this is normal. He comes to us and he says, sir, can you maintain accounts for me? We'll say yes. So like this, we will have many clients whose accounts we maintain. Only thing we have to do is, we will have to look at his bills and we will have to pass entries. We will have to pass accounting entries. In one software, we pass it and we keep his books ready. So he will give us bills. He will send the bills every week or something to the office. In the office only we can sit and manage his accounts. We maintain accounts for him. So like this, we will have multiple clients. And for all of those guys, what we are doing is just outsourcing the accounting service. So accounting service of their business is done by us. And for this, we charge monthly this much, depending on the business, monthly charges. So let us say, instead of appointing an accountant and paying him 10,000 or 12,000 rupees, we will do it for 5,000 rupees, because for us, it's not a big deal. We have people in our office doing this day in, day out. So just give the bills to them. They will pass the entries for you. So that's all. So this is how the knowledge process outsourcing point is. Are you all following this? Are you all understanding, or am I talking to myself? You're all with me, right? Yes. So basically, I was saying that in the case of CA office, we also do this. If you understood it, good. If you did not understand, it's okay. It's not part of the syllabus. I was just telling you how it works. Outsourcing and that is one process and outsource model. So here, call centers, customer care services also do the exact same thing. So you have a product, you've sold a product, you need now, for example, Airtel, Geo, you have some problem, you call the customer care. It is not necessary that Geo is owning that customer care center. Okay, the person you're talking to is not necessarily a Geo's employee. He will say he's representing Geo, but it doesn't mean he's a Geo employee. It could be a person from some other company to whom Geo has given a contract. So some other call center, Geo has outsourced this customer care services. So that you have called that center. So this customer care calls the customers, or the customers can connect with this customer care. So monthly billing is done, or depends. The contract will depend on different terms, per call, per minute, something like that. They will bill Geo. So So this is basically outsourcing of call center services. So there are so many call centers in India. In fact, there are many scamming. I was seeing some videos on YouTube. There's a lot of scamming business happening in India with regards to these call centers. So they scam people. Okay, not the real call centers. There are some dummy fake call centers in India, and India is a hub for it. So that is also happening right now, but not talking about that here. This is how the networks work. Now here what happens is, in these call centers and all, the whole point was, I was discussing about human resource accounting. In these call centers and all, there are people, right? The business is dependent on people, not machineries. It is not dependent on, just like, not like a factory where the factory is dependent on the machinery, or a plant. It is not dependent on that. The whole point of these businesses is, it is dependent on people. So how many customer care executives are there? How many calls are they taking? How are they performing? Are people happy with their service? You get to rate their service also. So based on this, 5 star, 4 star, you get to rate them, right? So based on this, their pay is also fixed. So on the basis of, how many calls he's taken, how many minutes he's attended, how many customers he's attended, on basis of all this, we pay them. We make the payment to these customer care executives. Generally, this also happens. So for this is known as human resource accounting. What they do in service industry, this is a service industry. Generally, the service industry is dependent on people. In the service industry, they're dependent on people. The business is dependent on people, not machineries, not these plants, not the factories, not warehouses and all that. It's just people. For example, here you're listening to me. Okay, so it's dependent on me. I have to teach. I have to take classes. This is how we go forward. So that is what happens in the case of any service sector also. It's dependent on people. So in many businesses, what they do is, they link for the employees. They say there will be an HR department. You have heard about HR, right? Human resource department. So they will say sometimes, we will incentivize the incentivize the employees. That means we will give employees money if they work well. If they hit these targets, we will give them extra money. Salesmen, for salesmen also, it's dependent on the sales that they do. So in human resource accounting, what we do was, we account for humans and their performances. Okay, we maintain a list of all the people, and we see how much work they have done, how many calls they have attended, or how many goods they have sold, what are the products they have sold, how much revenue they have generated for the business. So we will link to this. So if we are saying that, okay, one particular person has taken 10,000 minutes of calls in a particular month. 10,000, I don't know how realistic that is, but yeah, 10,000 minutes of calls is taken in a month. So he's generated to the company, let us say 3 lakh rupees as revenue for the company, 3 lakh sales he has generated. So he will get 20% of that 3 lakh. So 60,000 rupees will be his, this month ka salary. So it is linked to the work that he has done. The salary is linked to the work that he has done. So now the HR department will have to sit and keep a tab on each human resource in their company, each call center executive in their company, saying that, boss, how much sales you do, how much revenue you generate for the company. We have to keep a tab. We have to keep a count. We have to record the number of minutes that you have attended, because we will calculate your salary at the end of the month dependent on that minutes, on those minutes. So this is how human resourcing accounting works. Here we keep a count of humans. We mention different things with regards to humans, their salaries and all that. Is linked to their work that they do. So proper with regards to human resources, we keep a tab. It's like how in the case of machineries, we say this year 10,000 units were manufactured by this machine, 15,000 by this machine. So same way humans also. So that is human resource accounting. And the last one is social responsibility accounting. Now, what is social responsibility accounting? Let's talk about it. How many of you are from Mangalore here? How many of you are from Mangalore? Mangalore, M. Okay. So, this area in Mangalore called Mannagudda, right? Mannagudda. Okay. Have you heard of a library in Mannagudda? Do you know the name of that library? There's one library in Mannagudda, very popular library. Anyone? Or how many of you are from Udupi here? In Udupi, there is one in Manipal. Yes, Tanish, correct. In Manipal, there is one lake, right? Manipal Lake. Yes. Now, Now, in going back to that library first, Mangalore. In Mangalore, there is one library I told you, which is known as the Corporation Bank Library, or simply Corporation Library. Now, I'll tell you about this library. This particular library in Mangalore is an AC. Okay, it's an air-conditioned library. So I don't know, the annual subscription in that library was 300 rupees yearly. It used to be 300. I don't know how much it is now. So 300 or 400. Let's take 500 rupees as annual. They take annual charges from the students. So if you pay 500 rupees to them, you can go to the library. You can use the resources in the library. There are nice, comfortable seats, air condition on all the time. There's internet. You have internet access to internet as well in the library. So all these things are available. And annual, how much do you have to pay? Just 500 rupees. There are watchmen and all that. It's a proper, nice, posh library. But you're getting these services for just 500 rupees. 500 or 300 rupees, something like that. 500 rupees. Now, I'm sure that that money that the students that give them is not even enough for their internet connection every month. They have internet connection. They have I told you they have air conditioners and everything over there. So it's a really nice atmosphere, books and all that. Now, how are they able to fund it? How are they able to get that money? Or for example, Manipal Lake was developed by these people from the Manipal group. So they have donated a lot of money towards that lake. So maintenance of the lake and all happens through the Manipal group. This Corporation Bank library is run by the Corporation Bank. So Corporation Bank puts money. Now, is this business for them? Absolutely not. It's not business. It's not business. Corporation Bank, when they fund that library, it has nothing to do with profits. They're not donating. It's basically donations for them. Corporation Bank itself is giving money, putting money. Or you have this Nehru Maidan in Mangalore, right? That is also maintained by Corporation Bank. So in Manipal also, I'm sure there are so many things that is maintained by the Manipal group and stuff like that. So Syndicate Bank also has funded a lot of things in Manipal. So why do they do this? Why do they do this? What is this? Why are they spending money for free? They are a business, right? They are a business, but why are they spending money like this for free? There's no profit. This is known as service, or we in corporate terms we call this as corporate social responsibility. It is basically, we call it a CSR. Okay, it's not a not-for-profit NPO. Corporation Bank is not an NPO, or Manipal Group is not an NPO. It's just CSR. What they do is they are businesses. They're proper commercial businesses. But as a responsibility towards the society, they put some money. For example, during these COVID times, so many people have come out to help, right? Ratan Tata built a hospital in Kasaragod, and he handed over the hospital. The Tata Group built a hospital and handed over a very nice hospital and handed over it to the government. They did not do anything. They just built the hospital, gave it to the government for free. Take the hospital. Why do they do this? This is basically giving back to the society, because what Tata Group is doing is because of the people. What Corporation Bank is right now is because of people of Mangalore, because it started over there. People of Mangalore first encouraged it. People of Mangalore were the first customers of Corporation Bank. So Corporation Bank got everything from Mangalore first, and then they started developing. They went national. Now they are a very big bank. Manipal Group the same way. They started in a small hill in Manipal, and then they started growing. So that is why they say, the society where we've grown will give first to that. The city we've grown in, first we'll give it to that. So that is why these places have a lot. They do a lot of donations. They put a lot of money. This is known as corporate social responsibility. Okay, corporate social responsibility. Generally, these big groups might have one organization. Tata has Tata Charitable Trust just to make donations. The whole point is get profits from other businesses, and that is from the Tata Group. Get the profits, put everything, some 10%, 20%, 30% profits every year in that charity trust, in that charitable trust, and that charitable trust will keep spending on different charitable activities. So this is known as corporate social responsibility. In fact, as per the Companies Act 2013, they have made it compulsory for certain companies. If your turnover is more than a certain amount, so you have to compulsorily, devote 3%, 2% of your profits, net profits every year towards CSR activities. Are you all understanding this? Now, what these businesses will do is, are you all following? Are you all with me? You're with me, right? Okay. What these businesses will do is, what these corporates will do is, have a separate set of books, for seeing where we've spent money, how much we've spent money, how much donations we've done. So this is basically to see how much we spent during the year on what activities. Okay, if there is a flood in some place, help there, for basically help those people with the food and all that during the time of flood, shelter, food, hospitalization, and things like that. So these companies devote money and all that for emergency, for social causes and all that. So again, keep a tab on all these things, keep a control on all these things. For this, there are separate records that are maintained by these companies. That is part of social responsibility accounting, because there also you should not simply go on spending without keeping a count of what you're doing. You have to keep a proper count of how much money you're spending on what. So because there, what might happen is there might be manipulation, there might be illegal money coming in, there might be black money coming in and all that. So all that should not happen. So we account for it properly. We maintain proper records, books of accounts for all this. So that is known as social responsibility accounting. So these are the subfields of accounting. We have financial accounting, cost accounting, management accounting, human resource accounting, and social responsibility accounting. Okay, just 1 minute. Take this down and give me a. Okay. Are you all following, Suman? What is the problem? You're not able to follow English? Right now, I'm not giving you explanations for all of this. You can just take the sub points. When I give you the notes or textbook, in the textbook, all these points will be there. Right now, you don't have to buy heart and all anything. No, not you, Suman. Suman Suvarna is not you, not Suman Thegde. Don't worry. Yes, it is necessary, but not all companies. Only the big companies are, depends on turnover. More than 250 crore, if the turnover is, then a certain percentage of profits is to be, uh, devoted towards the corporate social responsibility, CSR activities. Okay, so I have put one message in the chat box. So you can see the message in the chat box. So please do the necessary. I think the message has been sent to you via WhatsApp also. So whatever is necessary, go fill in the feedback form and let us know your thoughts on the demo sessions. Please do it because your feedback is very important, right? Okay. So all of you have to do it. I expect all of you, whoever is listening to me right now, to do it. You can do it later. I think you've got messages, right? You've got the link through a message. Have you? Or is sure you have, right? Yes. Okay. Cool. You can do it later, but do it. Okay. Now, this was subfields of accounting. These were the different things in accounting that is uh, that what things that have happened in accounting and the subfields of accounting. Uh, the classic or the traditional field is the financial accounting. The paragraph under these concepts, I'm not going to give it no in the notes. No, you can read it. So basically, what I tell students is we will have a crash course as well, right? Later on, once your portions and all are done before the exams, we will generally conduct a crash course, a fast track class. So in that class, I will generally tell you what questions are important, what you should focus on, and all that during that batch. But even before that, now I will give you a set of around 20 questions from first chapter. All the units put together, I will give you a set of 20 questions and some more practical questions. So you have to just focus on those questions, theory questions for 4 marks. So you don't have to sit and study right now only all these things. So 20 questions. Now you just understand the concepts, you see what is happening, different small things, understand the concepts, build your interest in the subject. But for the exam point of view, I will give you separate file for it. You will have to study from that document itself, and not now. You can do it at the end, because these are theory questions. If you study now, you will not remember it during the exams. So I will give you, for the exam point of view, I have a separate document which will be given to you. Just that much you have to study. I showed you that, right, the other day. This file will be given to you. So all theoretical framework questions will be there in this particular file. So these questions you have to study properly. In this we have everything in detail. I have mentioned everything, so you can just read this particular uh, document and the questions from there. Okay, anyway, coming back to this. So that was subfields of accounting. Now, next one, functions of accounting information. Shall we start? Yes. So functions of accounting information means how does accounting information help? What does this accounting information uh, do exactly? Objectives is different. Objectives is what accounting does. This is what accounting information will help us do. So first one, measurement. That is basically you can measure the financial performance on the basis of numbers. Otherwise, if someone comes and asks you without accounting, if someone comes and asks you, you'll say, how is your business doing? Hey, good, yeah. What is good? How is your business doing? Very good, yeah. What is very good? How will you be able to explain it? Through numbers. You'll say, this year I sold, my sales was 2 crore rupees. Oh, very good. Because now suddenly it makes an impact. You know what is very good. According to that person, even 2000 rupees could be very good for him. So he's like, my sales is very good, yeah. How much? 2000 rupees. So when you tell the number, it makes impact. And how do you tell this number? Where is this number available? Which particular field makes you this number available? It's the accounting information. It's the accounting. So information derived from accounting is helpful in measuring a business success, success of a business. Where does your business stand? What are the assets of your business? What are the different values of your assets? How much liabilities do you have? All these information is available through the accounting data. So this accounting data lets you measure the performance and position of a business in terms of numbers, numerically, and this is allowed to be done only through accounting. So that is the importance of accounting in the business. Without accounting, business will be running in blind. You will not know what is happening. So that is the role of accountants. That is what you and all of us are going to do, because we help the businesses in measuring the success. We tell them numbers. We give them numbers, and that numbers are very important. Without this, businesses cannot be run very easily. So accounting plays a very important role, and you play a very important role as a chartered accountants tomorrow. Anyway, forecasting. So this also helps you forecast. Do you know what is forecast? What is forecasting? Any idea what is forecasting? Predicting. Correct. Predictions, right? Future predictions. Correct. Predicting about the future. Now, these accounting information again lets you, not accurately, of course, not I mean, anyone cannot predict the future accurately, but what we can do is we can at least say that, okay, this could be the sales next year. Last year the sales was 2 crore rupees. This year the sales was 2.5 crore rupees. Next year it will be somewhere around 2.5 to 3 crore rupees. You can predict. If you did not have the accounting data, you could not do this prediction as well. This may not be accurate, but because you have some information, you can fairly say the sales could be somewhere around this. So accounting again lets you forecast the future. Yeah, we do assumptions. It's not accurate. Of course, you cannot be accurate with your uh, forecasting. It's just a rough guess. It's just a rough guess, but more scientific because you have numbers in your hand. You can say that in the last year it was this much, this year it was this much, next year it could be like this. If something like COVID hits, of course you're proven wrong. Doesn't work. Your forecasting doesn't work. This was not predicted, this was not expected. So but fairly you can say that this is what we can forecast. Seasonal, some businesses are seasonal. Now, to understand which season you work, you can just look at the accounting data. For example, in the case of AC sales, ACs are sold the highest during summer, right? People buy it during the summers. So you can exactly know when the sales happen by just looking at the sales figures of the air conditioners. So in some months, it might not be, it might be very little, very nominal in few of the months. So you will know when to produce these ACs and when to keep it ready, because you can forecast the sales. You can say in this month, the summer starts somewhere in March, and we have highest sales in March. Last year we had highest sales in March and March. So just look at the numbers and be ready with the AC production, because your sales will start in those months, March, April, May. We will have very good sales. So we will focus on this prediction. You can do on the basis of numbers, on the basis of financial information, accounting information. And also the same thing, you can take decisions, right, on the basis of this. Again, accounting information will help you take decisions, make better calls with regards to the company. We've been talking about this a lot, right? When you give right information to the right people, they can do magic. Okay, they can do magic with businesses. So you give me the right data, right information, and if I have the capacity, I can do magic with my business. So this is what people do. Decision making, it helps a lot in decision making. So that is also very useful. Next one is, I don't know, there's some issue with the internet on my iPad only. I'm visible and audible, right? With this screen, there is no issue. Okay, it's clear. Okay. The next one is measurement and okay, measurement was done. 1 minute. Comparisons and evaluations. Now, anyone here, I mean, I don't expect anyone to be there, but anyone here is investing in stock markets? No one, right? It's okay if it's no one, completely fine. Okay. I started it a few years ago. So after I qualified, I started it seriously. Before that, I used to do it very lightly. Okay, because we don't have money to do it. We need money, right? Once you qualify, you will make money. So yeah. So basically, in the stock markets, how it works is, we will let's say there are two companies you might want to invest in. For example, BPO we were talking about. So let's talk about that only. In BPO services only, in BPO companies itself, there are many companies. For example, there is a Wipro, there is a TCS, there is a Infosys. Now you are saying that, sir, BPO services are solid, very nice business. I want to invest in BPO. Now my next question is, which BPO will you invest in? ಯಾವ BPO investment? There are so many BPOs, so many people in the same sector. For example, we'll do this practically. So there's this website. Now, let us take a company. Which company will we take? Tell me one company's name. I'll show you one company's data. Okay, let's take TCS. Now here, this is TCS. I wanted to invest in BPO companies, right? So BPO company, this is TCS information. So you will not understand anything over here. You will not understand most of these things. So let's not get into these numbers. But see this, peer comparison. Now I can look at the peer comparison, that is the different companies in that sector. There is TCS, there is Infosys, there is Wipro, there is HCL Technologies, there is Tech Mahindra, L&T Infotech, Mindtree. Now I can invest, if I want to invest in the BPO sector, I can invest in any of these companies. Now, how to decide which company to invest in? The information, the data. There's chunk of data in front of you. You can generate more information as well. Now you can see this net profits. Net profits of each of these companies is available with you here. The net profit is of TCS 9,246 crore. This is quarterly, 3 months into profits. Infosys 5,076. So based on this, you can make a calculation. Obviously, you'll say TCS is a better company, let's invest. But the prices could be expensive because always, if something is good, it's overpriced, right? So the price could be overpriced. You have to look at the pricing point also later. So it could be overpriced. You might be paying an extra price for that share. So that is why you might go for third or fourth in the list, which might be underpriced, underrated shares, we say. So you might go for an underrated shares because you want to make money. You don't want to be the owner of the elite company. That is not the point of investing, right? You want to make more money, make more money, make more money. So underrated companies you will see. TCS could be overrated because it is making a lot of sales, lot of profits, biggest in their sector. So that is why TCS might be overpriced, might be overrated in terms of their market price. In terms of their, you can see the current market price difference also. It's 3,122 per share for TCS. So that is what we look at, the different information. The market prices and all depend on a lot of things, not just this. So, but the information now, where is this coming from? Where is this quarterly sales data coming from? Where is this net profit, quarterly net profit coming from? Sales data, where is it coming from? Who is giving this information to them? From which record are we collecting this? Again, this is accounting information. All this is available through accounting information itself. One minute. Yeah. Okay, so this is all available through the accounting information. So I am able to compare, I am able to evaluate these companies because we have accounting information. Imagine if there was no accounting information. How would I compare? How would I decide if to buy TCS, Infosys, Wipro, HCL, Mahindra, or LMT, or Mindtree? How will I decide? Now here at least I have so much data. I have different information. So I can see, for example, profit and loss account. We can get all the profit and loss for the last so many years. Now, not just with other companies, you can do internal comparisons also. For example, this is TCS's profit and loss since 2010. So March 2010, that is the year end, full year's sales you can see. So I can compare the data, so of the same company. So the sales for them in 2010, that is 9-10 financial year, 2009-2010, was 30,000 crores. Right now, last year, latest year, it was 1,64,000 crores. So you can see the growth. You can see the growth of the company over the period. They have boosted their sales by more than 5 times. So they have increased their sales. How am I able to say all this? Because of accounting information. The profit also you see, 8,697 crores is the operating profit. Net profit you can see over here. Net profit 7,001 it was, and then it's now it is somewhere around 32,430. So all this information I can compare with their last year performance also, not just with other companies. I can also compare with last year data also. How is this enabled? Hege ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದಲ್ಲ? Because they are maintaining accounts, because they're recording each and every transaction. It starts from there. It starts from bookkeeping. It starts from there and it comes till here. So you can see every day real-time accounting they are doing. Each and every entry they're passing in the books. Then they are passing, they're taking it through the ledgers. Trial balance is prepared. Financial statements are prepared. The companies like Screener, this is a separate company, this is a website. What they do is they take all this financial statements. All this is, official information that is approved by auditors, audited information. Of course, the March 21 data is not audited, I think. Apart from that, everything is audited, submitted to the SEBI, that is the Stock Exchange Board of India, Securities Exchange Board of India, submitted to the stock exchanges. All this is official legal data. So this is reliable content. So all this content is available. How? It is not predictions. You can look at their if you don't trust this information, you can look at their website, you can find out the financial statements and compare this number. It will be the same number. Sales number will be this much only. I'm just telling you that all of this is available because of accounting. So that is what exactly accounting does. Are you all with me? Are you all understanding this? So this is also a function of accounting, enabling you and me to compare, evaluate, take decisions. You can forecast. You can say next year the sales could be this much. You can do all of this because of accounting information, nothing else. So you can see so much information with regards to the company. So all this is enabled because we account. And then you have government regulation and taxation. Of course, the government regulates and taxes on the basis of the information that you give. And the main information that we give is this financial statements is submitted every year. Yesterday also I was telling you, right? For taxation purposes and all, you have to, there is one act called Income Tax Act 1961. So under that act, every company has to pay something called as corporate taxes to the government. So that is paid on the basis of your net profits. It's calculated as a percentage on your net profit. So now the net profit, again, where will we get the net profit from? Accounting information. So this is also a function of accounting information. Please take this down. Tell me once you're done, okay? Yes. Okay. Now, do you think after praising accounts so much, we literally kept accounts on our heads, right? Do you think accounts is perfect? Do you think accounts is perfect? It's not. It has its own limitations. Accounting has its own limitations. There are the financial statements or accounting in general has its own limitations. Can you tell me what are the limitations you can think of? I know you have by-hearted all these things. You don't know what it actually stands for or means, but you know it. You know the answer. That's why I told you. Here it's a little different. We're going to do things practically as much as possible. It's not going to be, how you did in your first PUC, right? So, okay. Limitations of accounting. Very good. That is correct. See, there are multiple factors. Number one, as a person to judge a company, as an investor or as anyone to judge a company, what are we going to look at to judge a company? It's only one thing that we are going to look at. We're going to look at only one, and that is the only communication we have. That is the accounting information. There is only one language of the business, that is accounting. So if you have to judge the company judge a company, if you have to call that company good or bad, we just take the accounting information because this is numbers, this is certain numbers. So we judge the company on the basis of that information only. So we are heavily dependent on accounting information. There is no other alternative. So we are dependent on accounting information. So this will allow the companies to play around us with the data that they present in the accounting information. That is why there are so many rules, regulation, Companies Act, audits, chartered accountants going, conducting audits, and all that is happening because people, the stakeholders, are heavily dependent on the data that is provided through accounting information through the financial statements. People take decisions on companies on the basis of the data that is presented here. What if these numbers are wrong? What this number is given by TCS, Now, what if TCS gave the wrong number? What if TCS lied about this sales? I'm just saying. What if they lied about this sales? Or what if they lied about the profits just to lure more investors? That is why what the government has to do is take care of citizens, right? So that is why what they do is they say we will make rules and regulation, and auditors will come and read the information, whatever information you have provided. They will go from the base. When we audit the books of accounts, right, we go from the base. That is, we start from recording the transactions. They have recorded the transactions in the original books of entry through the bills will be available. So we will start from there. Our audit works, our checking work, our examination work starts from there. We check if the entries are made properly, and then we see if the posting is made properly, if they have posted properly into the ledger. So each step we will see if they have done it properly or not. That is audit. Checking each and everything right from the bottom. Are they recording everything properly, or are they missing something? What are the mechanisms that they are following to ensure that everything is recorded? So from there we will start, and we will go till the financial statements. That is audit. That is what CAs do. When we say audit of financial statements, right, we check the bills. We call it as vouching. Vouchers are checked during vouching. Verifications are made. If they're showing a building, they're showing building here. Let us say in this financial statements, you can see fixed assets. They are saying they have fixed assets worth 21,021 crores. That is the value of the fixed assets. Now, are we going to see if they are we going to go and see if they have actually got fixed assets worth this particular amount, 21,021 crore rupees? So we have to, as auditors, we physically verify it. We go and see if they actually have so much assets. Do they have that plant, computers? In the case of TCS, they'll have a lot of computers and all that. In fact, the company sometimes does this computer counting and all. Every quarter, my friend used to do his articles up in a firm in Mangalore, where they had assignment from Infosys. The assignment was this: every quarter the auditors had to go and just count the number of computers in the building and come back. That was all. So they go every month. My friend used to go every quarter there, just count the number of computers, switch on some of the computers and see if it is working or not, if it gets switched on or not. This is also a kind of audit we do to see if those assets are actually in working conditions. What if this 21,021 crores is not actually correct? So this is why we check each and everything, if it is proper or not. That is why we are responsible. People depend on this information, and this information is verified by us. We verify the information. CA firms, CA organizations, accounting organizations, audit firms verify if this information is true or not. So all these numbers you see are all verified information by chartered accountants, by CA firms, by people like me, by people like you, so articled assistants. So we, all of us, are part of checking this information if it's correct or not. And then once we check it, once it's audited, generally it's made public. People are told about it. So this information is given to them only once the audit is complete. There are multiple types of audits and all. I will talk about all that a bit later. But that is what we do to avoid the limitations, because people are heavily dependent on this. The data can be manipulated. You can lie. You can show fake assets. You can show dummy assets. You can show dummy sales. You can lie to the financial statements. So that is one of the limitations. We call that as window dressing. Okay, that is known as window dressing. Have you heard of this company called Satyam? Yes. Don't write this. I'll give you time to write this later. It is there in the slide. Here, the sequence is not exactly the same. Okay, Satyam exactly did this. It was, window dressing is what they did. He was showing he wanted to raise more funds from the investors. He wanted to raise more money from the public. So what they used to do was, there was one chairman of the company known as Ramalinga Raju. Okay, this Ramalinga Raju used to basically show wrong sales figures. Okay, dummy sales. So he used to show dummy sales, fake sales, around 6,000 crore rupees dummy sales he's shown. Now, this was to be checked by whom? CAs, right? The CA firm, the audit firm which was appointed to check that firm's books of accounts, they should have checked it. Two CAs, two members, two fellow members, just like me, two members were looking after it with a team. There was a big team. But these two CAs colluded. They basically, became friends with Ramalinga Raju. And once they became friends, they just started signing on what he gave. Of course, he would keep them happy by bribing them. They had got somewhere around 20 crore rupees from the company for just signing over it. So, I mean, this was bribe. This was not audit fees. This was additional money given to them under the table. This is what they say. It could be more than that, but 20 crore rupees was given to the CS to just sign without verifying. So now people started trusting the information that Satyam was giving to the public because it was audited information. One of the big fours in the world, there are four big accounting firms, okay, four big audit firms. They have their presence in almost every country in the world. In India also, they are there, four big accounting firms. One is Ernst and Young, you have PwC, you have KPMG, and you have Deloitte. These are four big accounting firms in the world. So one of these accounting firms, we call them as Big Four. Okay, Big Fours. So one of these Big Fours was a auditor of Satyam. Basically, PwC was the auditor of Satyam. PricewaterhouseCoopers. So this, or Price Waterhouse as they are known as in India. So this particular firm was part of the scandal. Not the whole firm, just two CAs from that firm, two partners in that firm were colluding with the management of Satyam, and they said they did not check. I mean, they did not check anything. They just verified. They just signed it, and that is where the problem started. People believed that data because it was audited by PwC. So people believe data. Whatever we sign, people believe that information. That is the trust people have on our profession. That is the trust people have on CAs. That this is all that makes CA big. You might ask why the respect, sir. For doctors, there is so much respect because they save lives. What is the respect? Why is the respect for CAs? The respect is for this because people trust what we say. The course is special because of this. The payments are high because of this, because you are at a very nice, very big, prestigious position where people are trusting every word that you say. So these guys abused that thing and they signed over the information, and people were misled because of this. People invested all their life savings, their money and all that in the company, and suddenly one day Ramalinga Raju confessed that he had done this, and the whole scandal came down falling. I don't remember the exact numbers, but the market price of one share in the peak of 2008 was somewhere around 560 rupees, if I'm correct. 560 rupees. And after the scandal broke out, it came down to 10 to 11 rupees. And somewhere around 13 rupees or something like that. So you can see, if you had bought a share for 560 rupees, you wouldn't have bought one share. If you had bought like 1,000 shares of Satyam for 560 rupees, 562 see the 13 rupees. 13 rupees directly fall because the information was dummy, fake. So the CAs were also held responsible. Of course, the chairman was jailed. In with him, even the CAs were jailed, and the CAs memberships were stripped off. So the institute also was very embarrassed because of these two guys. So the institute removed them from the members list. So they were basically thrown out. And also the new act, Companies Act 2013, came majorly because of this. Before you used to have Companies Act 1956. So Companies Act 2013 came into picture, and Companies Act 2013 made it more difficult for a CA auditor's life. It was more challenging now because of the Companies Act. They've got more rules and regulations for CAs. Before it was not there, for auditors, because of that scandal. Because the trust on CAs is so big, so huge. So that is why it happened. But basically, what I'm trying to tell you is window dressing is showing very nice picture from outside, but actually inside there is nothing. I'm sure you have seen those memes, right? Wearing very nice clothes in the front, back it's all burnt out. It's like you're wearing a suit. I'm sure you have seen that meme picture, right? It's exactly like that. That's window dressing. In front, when you see, oh, nice, 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 but from the back there is nothing. It's burnt out. So it's that is window dressing, and in accounting that can happen because people trust the output, the information that is put out. People trust that information very heavily. They take their decisions based on the information that is put out in the markets. So that information people trust. So if the backdrop story is not that great, then there will be a problem. That is what used to happen in Harshad Mehta's times also. The whole scandal was about that. It was not exactly about window dressing, but the point was something like that. The share prices were not in line with what the companies were exactly doing. It was inflated. But it is not to do with accounting. It was not an accounting fraud, but Satyam was an accounting fraud. There was a global scandal called as Enron. Enron was an accounting fraud. So these are accounting frauds which happen because of accounting. Not just that, also the classic thing, it ignores, someone mentioned it very rightly. Accounting ignores qualitative aspects. Okay. So we don't take into account qualitative aspects of a business. So we can judge a company based on what is shown to us, just the numbers shown to us. So because of this, we could be wrong as well. We could be wrong as well because of this particular data. 1 minute. Just give me a minute, guys. Okay. So, okay, so I was talking about qualitative information. Now, when you're just looking at the numbers or financial information of a company, they don't tell you about many qualitative things. They just tell you about things which is measurable in terms of money, right? The whole point of accounting was recording. The first step in accounting was recording the transactions. Uh, Recording the transactions. Now, what is recording the transactions? Transactions at the head of the renta. What is transaction? Transaction is an activity which is measurable in terms of money. So only those things which can be measured in terms of money is accounted for in accounting. But this this is also dangerous. This also could be not enough. Quantitative information is not always enough. You need qualitative information also. You need to know the trend also. You need to know what is happening also, not just basis of information. Now, for example, if you're just looking at this data and you're saying, okay, this company is going to do well because they have grown every year. Uh, every year the sales has gone up, so next year also the sales will go up. You might predict this because over the period of 10 years you can see the sales has gone up every year the sales is going up. But that doesn't mean that sales will go up for the next year also. Some big thing might happen with TCS which might not be recorded in the books. You might not be able to record that in the books, and then the sales might decline. Actually, the sales might come down because of that. Let's say a key person involved in the management of the company passes away or goes away. He's not part of the business anymore. He leaves the business and goes somewhere else. So in such cases again, there is a chance that the sales might come down because of this. You can see Infosys also. You can see the initial growth was 5,000 crores in the 2010 to 2011. Sales was added, 6,000 crores was added. So you were predicting next year 7,000 crores sales was added. I hope you're getting, I'm talking about the sales data from 2010. So first year to second year, 5,000 crores, next 6,000 crores, 7,000 crores, 10,000 crores. So suddenly, you were predicting that the company is going to do well. 2013 to 2014, they have added 10,000 crores additional sales. So next year you were thinking, okay, the company is going to make more, because the prediction, there is a trial, there is one, you can see a line, there is one proper guess that you can make, but you might be proven wrong. Narayan Murthy left the company. Vishal Sikka took over the company. Things were happening differently in the background. These are qualitative things. TCS was growing very fast, and Infosys could not keep up the pace at that point of time. Infosys was in par with TCS when this was happening in 2013-14. Infosys was there, but then things in the background, these guys left and all that. So the sales started, it was growing, but it was not growing at the same pace. Okay, so 3,000 crores additional sales. Then again, it picked up a little more. Then Nandan Nilekani came back. So Nandan Nilekani came back to Infosys. So all these things were happening in the backdrop. And because of that, it has impact on this information as well. But no one tells you about this. Now you can, many sectors, for example, right now might be suffering because of the COVID. The COVID situation might hit hit some of the industries very bad. For example, hotel industries might be hit because of COVID very, very bad. So because of this, now when you're looking at the information, you will see the sales data has fallen for this year. But if you don't know it was because of COVID, you might end up thinking that it was because of the low quality of the hotels that the company owns. Okay, so this might mislead you. If it is a lockdown, how will people go on vacations? How will people go to a hotel or a lodge? How will they stay there? Because you're not allowed to go out. How will they increase their sales? How will they get their sales revenue? How will they make money? But all these things are not recorded in accounting, so you might end up having wrong interpretations of the company. You might misjudge the company, you might misinterpret the data, because qualitative information is not given to you. Only quantitative information is given to you. Only numbers are given to you. Stories are not told to you. Okay, through accounting, we don't tell stories, we just tell numbers. And this could be dangerous because the stories are also important. Estimation. We have a lot of estimation that we do in accounting as part of, we call this as accounting estimates. Depreciation, for example. What is depreciation? You know what is depreciation, right? What is depreciation? Depreciation means reduction. Are you all there? Okay. Depreciation means reduction. Very good, Rikita. Reduction in the value of an asset. Okay, that is known as depreciation. Depreciation is reduction in value of fixed assets. Now, in such cases, can you exactly tell me how much is the depreciation, exact wear and tear, how much depreciation asset goes through? For example, let's say I have this phone. I had bought this phone 2 years back. Okay, I had bought it for say let's say 30,000 rupees. Now, can I exactly say over 2 years how much reduction in value has happened for this phone? Can I sit and calculate? Oh, okay, there is a scratch over here, so minus 500. The paint has gone off here, so minus 2,000. Or the speakers are not working as fine as they used to, so this minus 200. So do we calculate depreciation like this? Is it possible to exactly accurately say how much wear and tear has happened? The camera, there's a scratch over the camera, right? So let's say minus 500. So do you do this? Imagine doing this in the case of these big machineries. Okay, not happening, right? Not happening. We can't do this, and accurately you can't do it. So that's why I say 20% depreciation. That's an estimate. Is it accurate? No. Estimates are not accurate. But I said 20%. First year depreciation 6,000 rupees, second year 6,000 rupees, 20% of 30,000 rupees, basically 20% into 30,000. So every year I'm saying that much depreciation. But could it be accurate? No. In the say first year itself, I might drop the phone and the scratch might, the screen might be scratched. But depreciation in the books is 6,000 rupees. So this might happen. And these are estimates that we take in accounting. So what you see, fixed asset value, might not be the real value. It could be more, it could be less. Okay, it might not be the real value. So we are just estimating using some, because you can't do it, practically not possible to exactly say how much depreciation has happened for a particular machine. So what we do is we estimate, we say normally 20%, normally, general practice, 20%, 20% estimation. So we estimate in a lot of places. We take these estimates very seriously in a lot of places in accounting, which has a very big impact on multiple things. That has impact on your profits. Now, when you're saying depreciation is 6,000 rupees, that is the expense that you're going to show in your profit and loss account. So it will impact your profit. Financial performance will impact built to them. You're showing it in the asset side. You're saying 30,000 minus 6,000 for the first year, 24,000 rupees is the value of the asset. It impacts your financial position. Are you all understanding? Are you all following what I'm saying? So this estimation also is a limitation, but we can't do anything about this. We are there's a compulsion to estimate. We can't do it accurately. So we have to kind of deal with this. We should be happy with this much. So, but this is a limitation of accounting as well. Then we have ignores price level changes. That is, inflation and all is ignored in accounting. So when you look at the 10-year-old data, just now I showed you TCS ka 10-year-old data. Now when you're saying, you are comparing it with the current data and you're saying, sir, it's less, no, comparatively, or Infosys, you can see now it's 1 lakh crores. Before it was 22,742 crores 10 years back. But that time a rupee's value was more than what it is now. 10 years back, 22,742 crores could do a lot of things compared to this 22,742 crores right now. Because of inflation, because of increase in prices, everything, prices have increased. In 2010, probably I was somewhere around your age. So we used to, the prices were cheaper. It wasn't as expensive as it is now. Probably when I was in school, we used to get a samosa for 2.5 rupees. Now a samosa minimum costs you 5 rupees, 7 rupees, 10 rupees, not 5 rupees, sorry, 10 rupees. A samosa costs you 10 rupees. The same samosa which I used to get probably when I was in school for 2.5 rupees, you have to pay 10 rupees now. The prices have gone up by 4 times, right? 4 times the prices have increased. And for 50 paisa, I don't think you get any chocolates now. We used to get chocolates for 50 paisa back then. Now it sounds like there are no 50 paisa coins anymore, right? Now, I mean, hardly you get to see 50 paisa coins. So for 1 rupee, minimum 1 rupee, you have to spend on a small toffee also. So that is because of the price level changes. But in our books, we don't show this. Now, when you're saying sales data, when you're comparing all this, the inflation is not taken into account. The price level changes generally, the economic changes, the macroeconomics is not taken into account. We just take that year's data, put it over there. Inflation adjustment we don't do in accounting, and this also will not give you a real view of the books. And the last one is window dressing. We have already discussed the Satyam thing and all I told you, right? Manipulating the accounting records, that happens in window dressing. So could you please take this down quickly? Tell me once you're done. Okay. Okay. Mitali, please take it down. What if a company shows more depreciation in order to decrease tax pay? Possible. That is also possible, but that is why Income Tax Act has a separate set of depreciation rates. The Income Tax Act itself says that you cannot take more than this. This is the maximum, or this is the rate you have to take, not minimum, maximum. This is how much you have to take. There is a list in Income Tax Act itself. So you have to take those rates only for income tax purposes. For calculating depreciation, you have to take it as it is. Okay. For furniture, they say 15%. For different things, they have different rates. So you have to take that only. Okay, now so this is about limitations of accounting. So if you have any questions, you can post questions. Qualitative aspects means things that cannot be measured in terms of money is not recorded in the books, Nandini. So for things like now, sales are down for many companies because of lockdown, right? Many shops are closing down, many businesses are not doing a good business. This is not possible to be measured through accounts. You cannot measure things like COVID or no rains in a particular year. You cannot measure it through accounting information. You will not get this data through financial statements. The first three lectures till today, I think, will be uploaded on YouTube, so you can have a look there. From tomorrow, I think it will be available on the site. On the I don't know how it's going to work from tomorrow. You'll be told by your administrators. So, sir, price level changes means inflation. Inflation. You can just consider it as inflation. Then what is the next question? Can you explain again about window dressing? Window dressing is basically manipulating account, showing wrong accounting information, showing wrong sales, showing wrong purchases, showing wrong expenses. That is known as window dressing. Showing wrong information. Estimation means guessing, right? Just taking, it's not accurate, it is not exact, it is estimation. We are just estimating. For example, now I am estimating that all of you are studying, so this is an estimation. You will have what? Then tomorrow also you will have classes. When is the first paper? Somewhere in November your exams will start, so the first paper is accounting. I think Nitish, 12th, second PUC, that is what they are expecting you to put. Secret reserves are also, yes, correct. And Supreet, very soon, but now the classes will be a little light, I think, till your second. We get more clarity about it second PU exams, so there won't be many other subjects starting now. It will be accounts for some time. You can just read up more information about a BPO online, Mahesh. Objectives of accounting is what accounting does. Objectives of accounting. What exactly do we do in accounting? What is the point of doing accounting? That is what is objectives. Functions of accounting information means the accounting information is used for these things. So you can use the accounting information for these things. That is what the functions of accounting information is. There. So what is the method of depreciation indicated by the tax department to be followed? WDV method. They have to follow compulsorily written down value method. Only in the case of electricity generating companies, you have straight line method. Other all companies have to compulsorily follow WDV method. Sure, I'm confused in government regulation and taxation. Basically, the accounting information is looked after. The government uses this information to see if you've paid proper taxes, to make rules and regulations and all that. They use the accounting information as well. Social responsibility accounting means in the case of certain companies, they put money towards society, right? So keeping a count of all that money that they have put into charity work and all that is done in social responsibility accounting. Okay, guys. So if you have any questions, please put it. If you don't have any questions, you can leave the session, but say bye and go. No. Accounting theory questions are not MCQs, descriptive. Bye. I just want to read your names. You can't just go like that. That's so rude. Okay. Sir, if we don't continue, okay. Not all of it, yeah. It is part of the course, yeah. So it's part of the course. So you will have to come to the classes, right, for the materials as well. Human resource accounting is about, you can have a look at the videos again, Sumant, if you haven't understood about this. So human resource accounting is basically in the service sector where the sales and all is linked to humans. So they keep account of what every human is doing, how much sales is generating, how much expenses we're incurring on him and all that. So that is what happens in human resource accounting. Social responsibilities with regards to charities and all that. When you're doing a charity, when you're spending on certain things, society and all, you keep account of all of it. Window dressing is manipulation of accounts, manipulation of accounting information. Manipulation means showing wrong things. You can, Anup, you can write in November. Yes. Yes, staffing, keeping account, numerical data regarding staff, then that will come under accounting. Bye, and take care of yourself too. It will be uploaded soon. You just go to Trisha classes. There's one dedicated channel for CA Foundation. So Trisha classes CA Foundation channel. Okay, there you will get it. You just have to search Trisha classes CA Foundation. Just for CA Foundation content, you will have that YouTube channel. So go check that out. Yes, I told you that, Nitish. Second QC, put second QC there. MCQs 1 mark, MCQs Dev, 100 marks, 100 questions, MCQs. Sure. From this slide, right? From this one. Okay. So I hope there are any more questions. How call up your admin Teju and talk to whoever you touch, or you can call Trisha classes. The number, I will give you the number. Just call up that number and tell them. 9738 So just call them up and tell them whatever whatever you want to tell them. You want to continue. Yeah, I put the number, Teju. Viraj, talk to the admin. They'll help you out with that. Bye, guys. Bye. I'll check with that. I'll also check with them.